Imagine you wake up, you go into the kitchen, and there is, you know, those hand juicer. What do you do with it? You take an orange, you make an orange juice. And what if you want to make a kiwi juice? Like if I want to make, I want to take a kiwi, split it in half, and juice it as if it was an orange. Well, this is exactly the dilemma I was faced when I was a kid. I was with my parents and I wanted to make a kiwi juice, and they were like, "Well, no, Fede, like, nobody does that. It's not a thing. Like, you use an orange juicer for oranges, not for kiwis, and not for any fruit, for oranges." I was like, what? Huh? Strange, okay. And I grew up with that. Sometime later, I was at my uncle's house, and I made a watermelon juice. Okay, I literally took a watermelon and squeezed it with my hands. I was so hyped because I created a new thing. Okay, who the fuck thinks about a watermelon juice? I just created a new beverage. I was so happy. I was so like, yes, I was very creative at the time. Okay, and I went to my uncle. I was like, "Oh, take a taste. Tell me how it tastes like." I was very proud. Okay, I was like, "Oh, strange. I mean, never had anything like this, and it tastes like watermelon. Nothing special." Okay, I was happy though. Like I was able to create a new thing, but he was not used to it. So he was like, "Yeah, I mean, there's nothing special." Now think about any juicer. Okay, actually any juice. You probably know that there are more things other than orange. Okay, maybe there is a mix of carrot, orange, and a lemon, or there is a mix of papaya and some mango with other exotic fruits. Okay, so why could I not choose a kiwi? Well, I could. That's the thing. I realized that if you think about something and you want to do it, feel free to do it. It's not gonna change much. You can absolutely try the weirdest thing that nobody actually does, and that is very powerful in my opinion. I think no one taught me to make a bell pepper strawberry salad. I thought about it and I made it. It's delicious, okay? And here lies a lot of power, because if you think about it, this is exactly the way recipes were created, okay? We had food, and I mean our ancestors had food. They didn't know how to eat it, so they mixed it together in some way, and we had a meal. It's very simple, okay? But no one there was like, well, you cannot mix this thing with this other thing. And here comes another interesting point. Who says that something is not good with something? Think about it. If you have two good, like extremely tasty ingredients, and you put them together, there must be something good, right? I think so. But there are people that do not think this way. They think that there are certain blends, okay, that when mixed together, like, they don't taste good anymore, okay? And I mean, I kind of agree, okay? I don't like pizza with pineapple on it, but I know it's a mental thing, okay? Because they are two tasty things together, but we are not used to eat pizza with pineapple on it, okay? At least I'm not. And I fucking dislike it, okay? Because I know pizza has a certain taste, and when I eat a pizza with pineapple on it, I go like, what the fuck am I eating? So I get all confused, and I don't know what, like, it feels strange. It doesn't taste good, okay? Doesn't taste good. But, you know, the more I live, the more I am able to modify this thing, to change this. I don't like this. Okay, because when you can turn an "I don't like this" into "I like this," okay, you literally enable yourself to like most foods, okay, and when you like most foods, you eat more foods, meaning you can decide, okay, what you want to eat depending on what is good for you, okay. Maybe you don't like sauerkraut; they are great for you. You make yourself believe you like them, okay, and that's very powerful, okay, for health benefits, fitness goals, anything you can think of. A diet is very important, we all know that. But many people stop there, and they don't tell you how to go through a diet. Because most people, what they do is, they will get into a diet and they will kind of just go, yeah, healthy food tastes bad, okay? And there are many reasons for it, okay? The biggest reason, okay, is not what I just said, is not that you are not used to that. The biggest reason, in my opinion, is that most people have no idea what they are doing in the kitchen, okay? I say this out of experience. I had no idea what I was doing until I discovered a few key things that makes food taste good, okay? Those key things are gathered in a theory I developed, and there are basically mainly 6 pillars, okay? Plus a mental side of things. But if you want just to make things taste good, there are just 6 pillars you have to keep in mind to basically choose the right ingredients and make your food taste good. Because oftentimes people what they will do, I also did it, and that's totally fine, by the way. They will go online, a top recipe, like top chicken recipe, okay? Best recipe, chicken, tastiest, you know, saying like, just search a recipe and do that. You can do that. You can just copy paste a recipe. In my opinion, is you know, a bit limiting, because the recipe may not be the best version of it. Because I've modified the recipes and I like them more. Like when I modify them and I adapt the recipe to the 6 pillars and to my mental domain, like it makes it better. Okay, if you just trust on a recipe and you go for it, it may turn out good, but there is probably a better version of it, because you are missing some of the pillars, okay? So yeah, I mean, to begin with, it's completely fine to follow a recipe, but I really suggest you to make your own recipes and not to follow a recipe, because not only you are missing out on taste, you're also missing out on time and stress, okay? I've followed recipe, I've seen people follow recipe, I see my mom always follow recipe, and bro, it is so, like, cooking becomes stressful. Literally, cooking becomes an activity that is time like consuming and also a little bit annoying to do. I also had the opinion that cooking is a little bit boring and annoying to do. I don't anymore, because I found a way, like I found that cooking is not that hard, okay? Cooking is something you can literally do randomly if you follow a certain, you know, way of doing things. But once you got that down, you can improvise. Like if you see my POV videos, they are all improvised. I don't follow any recipe, I don't follow any timing, okay? Even timing, like you literally don't have to follow timings, okay, if you know what you're doing. And what I do in my videos is try to teach you those like mindsets that will enable you to know what you're doing, okay? This way you don't need to follow a recipe anymore, okay? And you just save so much time and effort, okay? I wasted hours following recipes and, you know, being precise about spices, but at the end of the day, okay, like I always make this example, the chicken curry recipe, okay? I did follow it at the beginning, kind of. Then the more I did it, the more I kind of made it myself. I didn't follow the recipe anymore. One day I forgot I had tomatoes, okay, which are a base ingredient of chicken curry, and I used bell peppers, okay, another ingredient. That experience enabled me to unlock, okay, a new recipe version, and that version is quite better in my opinion, because it has more pillars, okay, it adds some sweetness that the tomatoes does have, but bell pepper has more of. So by doing something like this, okay, I basically made a hard recipe an easy recipe, meaning stressful and don't want to do recipe into an easy to do recipe. And this translates, guess what, into eating healthy more times and more easily, okay? Because eating healthy, you can consider it to be a habit, okay? And when an habit has friction on it, okay, if you don't really, it's not easy to do, like cooking, following a recipe. Imagine like you're making a recipe and there is some spice you don't have. Always happens, okay? Most of the times I make a recipe, I don't have the ingredients. Guess what? I don't put them in. It turns out completely great. I search up for substitutes if I really want to use the ingredients. It turns out fine, okay? It is really that simple, and if you follow this philosophy, okay, you will 100% eat healthier, because there is not friction on eating healthy. What people will do is they will eat healthy sometimes, but you know, today I don't have time, today I don't have that much motivation to cook, so they will just go for the packaged food. And that's very bad. Imagine if you could just effortlessly go in the kitchen like I do and take random stuff, mix them in a way that they end up with enough pillars to make the meal tasty and satisfying, and not even caring about timing, temperature, ingredient selection, and you're just there eating something healthy you cooked for yourself. Not only it is tasty, not only it is healthy, you're also happy you cooked, because it is fun. Okay, at the end of the day, it's fun. You literally created something your own, and you're proud of it. Okay, I'm always proud of the things I cook, even though they maybe turn out a little bit better sometimes even better, sometimes a bit worse, but still tasty. Like, I'm always proud of it, and I also want this for you. So next time you don't want to cook because I don't have time, I don't know what to cook, okay, just try to follow the pleasure hypothesis. That really helps. Try to mix foods, okay, even raw foods, you don't have to cook them if you want, but make sure that at the end of the meal you have at least 4 or 3 of the 6 pillars I mentioned in the pleasure hypothesis, which are saltiness, fattiness, sweetness, umami, acidity, and digestibility, okay? I go more in depth in that video I made, which is very useful. If you watch the video, you'll understand like how to always make food taste good. If you really are serious about this, you should watch that. And bam, you just ate healthy, no effort put in. That's great. You just effortlessly cooked something out of nowhere. You like it, you're proud of it, and your health status will be 10 times better than before, okay? Because you avoided junk food, you avoided cereals, you avoided sugars, and you ate something you cooked yourself. If you got any question about how to quit junk food, leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a like. And if you wanna cook something in a simple way, subscribe. I'm all about that.